Hi everyone and welcome back. So in this video we are going to create our package for our service files. So let's create our RTMP service first. This class is going to extend from service Android app and implement the onBind method. So we are going to actually create an inner class of local binder and it's going to extend from the binder. And let's add a binder object to our service class. Private val binder is equal to a new local binder, and right here is return the binder object. Also, let's remove this question mark. Okay, so right now let's override onCreate methods, and inside here let's add a function setup notification. Let's create this function. First, we are going to need a notification manager, latent var notification manager of type notification manager, and then notification builder of type notification compat dot builder. So inside here, I'll instantiate my notification manager is equal to get system service, and the name of it is going to be notification manager class.java. So let's create a notification channel is equal to notification channel, and the ID is going to be RTMP channel, and the name, I don't know, is going to be Foreground, and the importance is going to be notification manager dot importance high. So let's create this notification channel using notification manager, create notif channel, and right now let's add an pending intent to this notification. So whenever we press the exit button, the whole process is going to be stopped. So let's first create our intent. It's going to be a new intent. The package context is going to be this, and the target is going to be RTMP broadcast receiver, which we will add in a second, class.java, and also apply some action to it. Action is going to be action exit. So let's create this RTMP broadcast class. This one is going to extend from receiver, broadcast receiver, and let's override the onReceive method, and we will check if the intent that action is equal to action exit. Make sure that you're using exact same name as here, so you can create a constant variable to do that. But right here we will handle the stop process here. So we will come back to this file later. Also, let's add them inside our manifest file. We'll add a service. You have to add a flag for your service that this service is going to be MediaProjection. So there's going to be something called Foreground Service type, which is going to be MediaProjection. There are some weird error here. I'll simply just ignore the foreground service permission here. Let's add a receiver class, or RTMP receiver. So let's go back to our RTMP service class, and right here we'll create a pending intent, and it's going to be pending intent dot get broadcast. From this context, the request code is going to be 0, and we'll pass intent for the intent, and the flag is going to be pending intent dot flag immutable. And we will instantiate the notification builder like this, notification compact dot builder, and simply pass this as the context, and the channel is going to be exact same here, and add some property to your notification like small icon. I'll add my launcher icon, map.launcher, and the most important thing is the action. Let's add some action. The drawal is going to be this. I don't care about the icon here. The title is going to be exit, and we'll pass pending intent to it. And also don't forget to set ongoing to true. So our binder and our notification setup is done. I'm going to create a way to start actually intents to this service. So I'll create a companion object and add the start function, start service. This is going to get the context, and the body of this function is going to start the service inside a new thread. So let's start this thread first, and then using the context object, I'll simply write a startForeground service, and for the intent, I'll create a new one. The context is going to be the beginning of this intent, and the RTMP service class is going to be the target. Let's add some action to it. An action is going to be start, and this function is usable through the whole application using this companion object. So let's write the next function, stop service. Let's start with lowercase, and then we will get the context again. Simply start foreground service. The intent is going to be the same as previous one, but the action is going to be stop. So the next function is going to be bind service. So we will get a context and a connection of type ServiceConnection. So using context again, we'll bind service. We pass the intents to it. The context is going to be here, and the target is going to be RTMP service, just like before. And then we'll pass the connection, and for the flag, we'll set bind auto create. Simple as that. Also, I'll hold a URL object of type string here. It's our RTP URL. So whenever we receive this actually stop service and start service, we have to handle it inside our onStart command function. Instead of super.start command, we'll return start not sticky. So right here, let's check the intent. So using intent, we will check if the action is not null. Simply check if the action is equal to start. We wanna handle start service, and if it's equal to stop, we wanna handle stop service. So let's create these two functions without any return type. Okay, pretty nice. So we wanna check if the service is running. We wanna ignore it, but if it's not, so let's start our service. So I'll create a variable up here, private var is service running is equal to false, and down here we'll simply check if it's false still, we wanna make it true, and then start our service. So using startForeground and pass ID of 1 and notification builder dot build will start service, and for our stop service we just pass false to our is service running, and also stop foreground with stop foreground remove flag to it. Okay, so we are good inside our RTMP service class. Let's move to the main view model class. I'm going to add a way to bound our view model to our service. So let's add a section using command. Here I'll create a variable called isBound, and it's going to be false initially. Also a service connection of type ServiceConnection. It's going to be an object of type ServiceConnection. We will implement the methods onServiceConnected and onServiceDisconnected. And inside onServiceConnected, we will create a binder object from this service and cast it to RTMP service.localBinder, and then create a object of our service using this binder. So I'll create a private var my service of type RTMP service. It's going to be null initially, and we can see there's an error here which says that this field leaks a context object. So since we know about the life cycle of our view model, and we know that the uncleared is called when the view model is getting cleared. So we will simply just make this service null and also surpass this static with annotation. So let's go back to our connection and instantiate this my service using binder.getService. Looks like I forgot to instantiate this getService function. Let's go back to my RTMP service, and inside this local binder class I forgot to add the function getService of type RTMP service and simply just pass this one to it. So if we go back to my main view model, we will see that this service is being used correctly. And also I'll set isBounds to true, and inside here I'll set inBounds to false. So right now we have our connection and we wanna start the service whenever this view model is getting started. So using init block inside our view model, we simply use RTMP service dot start, and for the context we'll pass the application, and also using bind service we simply pass application and connection. So first we will start the service and then we will bind it to our view model. Also do not forget we check if on the clearing points the service is bound. We wanna use application and onBind service. It's a very important step. We simply just pass connection to the onBind service method. So if I start my application again, it should start my foreground service here. Let's check it if it's working correctly. And you will see that our service is not being started because there's a good reason behind it. So if we go back to our main activity and check for the type of our view model inside this delegation, if we control click on it, you will see it's going to return a lazy object. So if you are familiar with lazy, you know that if you don't use this object, this won't be created. So let's just simply add a log here and just use this object and run our application again for now. Then you can see our view model is being created and our service is being started. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video, we will add the stuff for our screencast using Pedro library and then start casting our display to the RTP server. So till the next video, see ya.